Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our series on stroke. As you all know, this has been a series of webinars that we have been organizing, not only to raise awareness on stroke, but also to work together to understand what the biggest challenges are that stroke survivors and their families face, and to gather that information to convert that into voices that can then influence policy at the national level to add benefits to the existing national guidelines for stroke and also to bring in other peripheral benefits that stroke survivors might need. I am Dr. Ratna and I am the head of the organization called Dakshani and Amravati Health and Education, which runs a cross-disease patient alliance called Indian Alliance of Patient Groups. This is an alliance of over 60 plus patient organizations working across the spectrum of diseases, including non-communicable diseases, rare diseases, organizations working on mental health, etc. And we work with multiple stakeholders, whether it is the government, industry, organizations like the World Health Organizations, the UN agencies, etc. And our experiences of working with patient organizations has brought in very rich knowledge that adds value to all these discussions at the various stakeholder conversations that we have. The initiative that you see on your screen, Stroke Support Alliance, is one such initiative under the ambit of non-communicable diseases. And as you would already know, there is a lot of work that's happening in cancer, in diabetes, in hypertension, prevention of hypertension. There's a national program. However, people who are unable to manage hypertension or for some other reasons end up having a stroke face a lot of struggles and difficulties. And therefore, we came up with this initiative where we could connect with people who are surviving, family members who take care of the survivors, and to understand from them what their greatest needs are. Today in our series, it is my privilege to welcome Dr. Dharam Pandey, who has kindly agreed to speak on the rehabilitative aspects and how to manage your life after stroke. Just to give you a brief introduction, he is an eminent physiotherapy and manual osteopathy expert in India, specialized in neuro and spine care. Currently, he's a senior consultant and HOD at Manipal Hospitals, Dwarka. And he's a physiotherapist with 19 plus years of experience. He's done his bachelor's of physiotherapy from Florence College of Physiotherapy, Bangalore, Masters of Physiotherapy from Charan Singh University, Meerut, and PhD Physiotherapy from Singhania University, Rajasthan. He's a recipient of the Physio Ratna Award by HCAP 2015, Best Researcher Award, National Conference of Physiotherapy, Lucknow 2019, Emerging Physio Award, Physio Guide 2018, Excellence in Field of Physiotherapy Award, Medanta, the Medicity, Gurugram, August 2019, Physiotherapy Clinician Excellence Award by NCPT 2015, Physio Excellence Award by IIP Shitty Branch at 54th Annual Conference Shitty 2016, Best Contribution in Rehab Services in Delhi NCR of the year 2012 by Time Media, and several other significant contributions. We also hope to have somebody who is a stroke survivor called Deepak. Deepak has been busy in some personal work, but he has promised that he will try to join. So welcome, Dr. Pandey, and it's my pleasure to hand over to you to speak about life after stroke.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the very elaborated introduction. And before we start the session today, first I would like to thank you and the Stroke Support Alliance for such a great initiative. And आज जो हम लोग बात करेंगे, it will not be something like a very technical kind of lecture, or maybe I have just prepared a few of slides to just engage people that to explain what is stroke and very basic things. More of today, what we are going to do is whoever those who are in this meeting, this webinar, let us make it more interactive. And I usually see in the group, although I do not participate, actually with the busy schedule, I could not participate and very actively in that, but definitely sometimes I go through, and I found that there are a lot of queries, there are a lot of questions of stroke survivors, and the family members and survival themselves. So today we will be going to discuss all those. If anybody has any questions, freely आप उनसे पूछ सकते हैं इसमें. We'll have a very short presentation, and after that we will be having a discussion kind of interactive discussion kind of session. So सबसे पहले जो हम जब भी स्ट्रोक की बात करते हैं, like today we are talking going to talk about life after stroke. We all know that what is the stroke. बहुत डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगा इसके लिए, but definitely थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ होना चाहिए जब भी हम स्ट्रोक के बारे में बात करते हैं. So what is the stroke? You all know that what kind of stroke there, the hemorrhagic, ischemic, and this is all the chronic stroke patients and those who have suffered stroke. Definitely, I'm sure you have gone through so much of content available on internet and everywhere. You have read about that, so we are not going in that detail. But definitely, I'll be going to discuss actually जब किसी को स्ट्रोक होता है तो एक्चुअली होता क्या है. सबको पता है कि ब्रेन में कहीं डैमेज हो जाता है. आई थिंक एवरीवन इज कंफर्टेबल विद हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश मिक्स, और शुड वी कंसंट्रेट विद इंग्लिश और हिंदी?
I think a mix would be more acceptable.
Yeah, sure. That is what, because I think the most of people from the area here and they understand Hindi. So हिंदी में कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं जो अच्छे से समझ में आती है, और हिंदी हमारी भाषा है तो उसको भी हमें हिंदी में बात करना ही चाहिए. So as I was talking, that what happens after a stroke. See, when stroke, we are not talking about the mechanism. When a stroke happens, there is a one thing very significant change happen in your life, that is the function loss. What is function? I mean here is function. You walk is a function. आप ब्रश करते हैं, आप खाना बना लेते हैं, आप ड्राइविंग करते हैं, चलते हैं, फिरते हैं, उठते हैं, बैठते हैं. All these things are considered as your bodily function. And when a stroke occurs, suddenly you lost that function, right? अब एक चीज यहाँ पे जो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली मैं आपको फंक्शन बताने की कोशिश कर रहा हूं, दैट इज व्हाट इज, एक बच्चा होता है, वो उसको भी चलना नहीं आता है, ठीक है. वो चलना सीखता है, धीरे धीरे गिरता है, फिर चलता है. जब हम साइकिल चलाने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हैं, we don't know how to ride a bicycle, a car or anything, but you try to learn, we do mistake and ultimately we learn. जब हम पढ़ते थे, हम ABCD नहीं लिखना आता था, then we used to write and practice that. Sometimes we did lot of mistakes, and then finally even without thinking हमारी वो मोटर, वो एक्टिविटी हमारे हाथ से अपने आप हो जाती है. When we step 1 or 2 steps, we need to think, and after that it is in a continuous process which happen in your brain. लेकिन स्ट्रोक होने के बाद जो फंक्शन, जो चलना चला जाता है आपसे, इम्पेयरमेंट जो होती है, इट इज समथिंग डिफरेंट देन व्हाट ए चाइल्ड हैज डिफिकल्टी इन वर्किंग. ठीक है. सो डिफरेंस क्या है मैं ये बाद में बताऊंगा, बट जब आपकी बॉडी अफेक्टेड होती है स्ट्रोक से, व्हेन देयर इज ए नेगेटिव थिंग्स स्टार्ट हैपनिंग इन द स्ट्रोक, तो एक रिकवर का प्रोसेस शुरू होता है. कोई भी रिकवरी आपके ब्रेन में स्टार्ट हो जाती है जो 2 कैटेगरी में होती है. वन इज ए न्यूरोलॉजिकल रिकवरी. यू ऑफन सी दैट जब स्ट्रोक हुआ एंड सडनली मेडिसिन वगैरह हुई, जान बच गई, एंड सडनली यू स्टार्ट गेनिंग, एटलीस्ट समहाउ यू try to get up, somehow you try to move, but it is not in that way, that the normal way, but somehow you learn to do in a compensation all these activities which were lost or which were very normal before stroke, and suddenly it got lost because of a stroke. उस चीजों को सीखना हम शुरू कर देते हैं. Okay, so now we need to understand, as a stroke survivor or caregiver or a clinician or a physiotherapist, occupational therapist, everyone, we need to understand how a brain recover after stroke? So always remember there are two ways. एक जैसा मैंने बताया न्यूरोलॉजिकल रिकवरी और एक फंक्शनल रिकवरी। जब हम स्ट्रोक की बात करते हैं तो ऐसा हमारे एक जो नॉन मेडिकल फ्रेटर्निटी है, खासकर जो स्ट्रोक सर्वाइवर्स हैं और जो केयर गिवर हैं, उनके दिमाग में जब डॉक्टर या कोई भी बताता है कि भाई इनके दिमाग में डैमेज हो गया स्ट्रोक के बाद, राइट, डैमेज हो गया, तो हमारे दिमाग में जो एक जनरल सी बात आती है that there is something was there and it is being lost, it is being ऐसा बोलते भी हैं कि once the brain is lost you are not going to recover it, but ये एनिमेशन से मैं दिखाने की आपको कोशिश कर रहा हूं that the brain tissue is not something which is in a solid state. It is a bundle, it is in a group, it is in a एक जो समूह बोलते हैं of various neurons, and there are some neurons which are dedicated for that particular some particular function. Because of stroke they are no more, they died. There are billions trillions of neurons in your brain, in your body, and उनमें से कुछ neurons जो हैं वो डैमेज हो गए, and this is how something your brain network looks. So brain में स्ट्रक्चर जो है एक कोई सॉलिड स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, वो एक ग्रुप है न्यूरॉन्स का, और बिकॉज ऑफ स्ट्रोक सम ऑफ दीज न्यूरॉन्स गेट डैमेज. सो होप यू अंडरस्टूड व्हाट द ब्रेन स्ट्रक्चर इज सो फार. ठीक है, अब जो दूसरी चीज है दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज लुक एट दिस पिक्चर, दिस वीडियो. जो कुछ इस तरीके से आपके जो न्यूरॉन्स हैं ब्रेन में वो ऑर्गेनाइज होते हैं. एंड एज आई सेड अर्लियर, व्हेन वी वर किड हमें साइकिल चलाना नहीं आता था. we were not able to write ABCD or something like that, right? With the practice there are some of neural connections got developed in our brain, right? And because of that, our that motor behavior समझिएगा. What is motor behavior? Motor behavior is something which is the activity, our muscle activity takes place and we perform certain tasks. That's the motor behavior. चलना फिरना उठना ये सब सारा चीज. So with the practice you will agree that those motor behavior get strengthened. Okay, अगर हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं तो वो ये जो न्यूरॉन्स हैं इनका जो बाउंड होता है वो स्ट्रांग होता है, और जिन न्यूरॉन्स को हम यूज नहीं करते हैं वो न्यूरॉन्स हमारे डिसअपीयर होने लगते हैं, उनका कनेक्शन पुअर होने लगता है. एंड आई एम गिविंग too much emphasis on this because there were a lot of talk about spasticity, there were a lot of talk about the disability after after stroke. There are a lot of debate goes on every day that how much recovery will takes place. All these answers can be given, और आप तभी समझ पाएंगे जब इस रिकवरी प्रोसेस के बारे में समझ पाएंगे, राइट? सो यू नो दैट किस तरीके से हमारे ब्रेन का जो स्ट्रक्चर होता है वो होता है, राइट? There is something called neuroplasticity. You must have heard about this terminology and you must have read about somewhere on in internet, on in everywhere, right? And this phenomena, this neuroplasticity phenomena was 100-year-old, and recently it is gaining more attention towards neurology. But basically principally it was developed in psychiatry, जहां पे न्यूरोप्लास्टिसिटी की तरीके से हम देखते थे कि हाउ योर बिहेवियर गेट चेंज, हाउ योर थिंकिंग गेट चेंज, हाउ द न्यूरोनल स्ट्रक्चर गेट modified in your brain because of your behavior, because of your thinking. And it was 120 years back, but recently in few decades we have been aware that in phenomena को यूज करके हम न्यूरोलॉजी में भी न्यूरोलॉजिकल रिकवरी के फील्ड में भी इन चीजों को हम अगर देखेंगे, so we can have a very effective treatment or therapeutic or rehabilitative what you say, module or techniques or procedure. So basically neuroplasticity होता क्या है समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. Basically the neuroplasticity is in a potential of brain to adopt and react. जब कोई अच्छी चीज होती है उससे हम कैसे रिएक्ट करते हैं, या जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि राइटिंग. सो व्हेन यू वांट टू इंप्रूव एंड have a very effective, very good handwriting, what will you do? Actually you will start doing a lot of practice of writing, okay, in a right way. Some people hold in a pen in a different way, some people hold in a different way, and that affect a lot of handwriting. Same way, if you know if you don't know how to ride a cycle, how to balance your muscle coordination, your muscles are not habituated to control, your nerves are not so activated to control that fine movement and making balance while driving or riding cycle or making piano or anything, any motor behavior which needs a continuous sequence of movements. Like कोई भी movement जो होती है, जो body में कोई function होता है, it is not a set of एक मसल का काम नहीं होता है. ये एक बहुत सारी मसल्स मिलके एक फंक्शन को अंजाम देते हैं. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ आई एम jumping a hurdle or something kind of that, it is my body, upper body, my legs, my trunk, my every part of body require the sequencing of movements so that I can perform that jump. I will talking about that, what is the importance of having a trunk stability for hand function. बिकॉज हम हैंड पे तो बहुत ज्यादा काम कर रहे होते हैं, बट अपने ट्रंक और अपने बैठने के तरीके पे नहीं कर रहे होते हैं. लाइक जस्ट एक एग्जांपल आपको दूं इससे पहले कि हम और न्यूरोप्लास्टिसिटी के बारे में जाने. जस्ट इमेजिन दैट यू आर स्टैंडिंग इन अ वेरी स्टेबल सरफेस. तो आपकी मसल्स में उतनी टोन नहीं होती है, राइट? और जब आप एक नैरो सरफेस पे या एक चैलेंजिंग सरफेस पे खड़े होते हैं तो आपकी बॉडी उसको प्रोटेक्ट करके एंड बॉडी ट्राइज टू सर्च फॉर बैलेंस एंड लुक फॉर बैलेंस, एंड उसकी वजह से बॉडी को टाइट कर लेता है आपकी मसल. ब्रेन ऐसा परसीव करता है. ब्रेन जब थ्रेटन परसीव करता है या ओवरलोडेड होता है, सो बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिविटी होती है. और इसी वजह से ये भी एक कारण है कि जो हमारी जो सिनर्जी और जो बात मैं कहीं पे देख रहा था, सिनर्जी के ऊपर बात हो रही थी, जो इस तरह की एबनॉर्मल सिनर्जी जो डेवलप करती है, जो नॉर्मली मूवमेंट की तरह नहीं होती है, दैट ओनली हैपेंस बिकॉज योर प्रॉक्सिमल पार्ट इज नॉट स्टेबलाइज. और हम पहले ही उसको कोई ज्यादा हैवी टास्क देने की कोशिश करते हैं ब्रेन को. ब्रेन हमेशा याद रखिए कि ब्रेन जो है वो हमेशा टास्क को देखता है. वो कभी भी आपके इंडिविजुअल मसल्स और मूवमेंट को नहीं देखता. वो हमेशा टास्क को देखता है. इस पिक्चर से जरा एक बार आप समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. जैसा मैं बता रहा था पहले कि इफ यू आर राइडिंग ए बाइसिकल एंड राइटिंग और पियानो और व्हाटएवर मोटर एक्टिविटी यू आर डूइंग, सो सपोज कीजिए कि this is the place, your destination, your office, okay, and this is entire map. You understand about something like your brain network, right? And this is you. So every day you come out of your home, you go to your office every day. That's what your routine is, and every day you do this. Every day you go by this route. You are adopted to do this route. And in case of neurological sciences, if I would say, that's what the neural pathway has been developed in your brain, in your neural network, that even if you think about lifting a glass of water, there will be set of neurons will start getting fired, and your particular muscles will get contracted, and you will be able to hold that object in your hand. So that's what the neural network you have already developed. It is not necessary that it has to go that way. Some other people may have a different set of connections. and they may have a different pathway to reach to the destination through your spinal cord, through your muscles, and through your firing, right? So that's what the route you choose. But in case of a stroke, something happened in between where there is these neurons, these neural network is affected. That neural network is affected, and now your brain is not able to, even there are some execution, even there are some of firing, even there are some neurons are already intact, still intact, but there are the misconnection or break of connection, you can say, has happened because of your stroke. So what will you do that if you have same problem in your way of your office? You were traveling to every day to your office, from your home, or maybe your shop, or maybe your factory, or maybe your office, wherever you go every day. So if there is a block, definitely you will try to find out some other pathway, some other road to reach to your destination, right? And you will all agree that it may not be the same convenient, it may not be the right pathway, it may be very narrow, it may be very congested or something like that. You may feel some difficulty in that, and this is how your brain start recovering after any injury happen in your brain. जब इंजुरी जहां पे होती है उस चीज को, टास्क को परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाती आपकी बॉडी, सो ब्रेन ट्राई टू रिकवर एंड ट्राई टू डेवलप the pathway again and modify the pathway in your brain, that you become able to do the activity which is needed. So आपने डिमांड दिया उसको कि आप, मुझे ये काम करना है, मुझे ये ग्लास उठाना है, but the muscles which were controlled through a pathway, आपका हाथ की इन muscles को, that has been lost, but still you are trying very hard. So what will happen? There will be a lot of other neurons which were not part of this neural network will get activated for this activity, and this is where you become tight and develop different kind of synergy. You look in stroke because your hand is not functioning, so your shoulder, your back, your other side will become overactive, and that is where rehabilitation takes place and proper guidance takes place. Otherwise, your brain will develop that compensation and will not recover towards the normal system, right? So this is why I wanted to explain this, because you learn the recovery of stroke after stroke, because we are talking about the life after stroke. So once the life after stroke will be better, you will have a better quality of life after stroke once you are aware to understand and aware why and what the rehabilitation has importance, and how much importance it is for you that you get rehabilitation for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, or 4 hour, maybe in a day, but still 18 hours or in 24 hours, you are alone. So your responsibility as a stroke survivor become even more important than another rehabilitation expert, right? Rehabilitation expert can guide you what is right and what is wrong, but definitely it is in a stroke survivors and caregivers responsibility that they follow those instructions, and because it is not just motor behavior after stroke. As the second slide has shown, that there are different part of brain, everything get affected. Your mood get affected, your cognition get affected, your sensory system get affected. So it is multi-sensorial, multi system dysfunction, not multi system in actually, but in brain because brain regulate every function in your body. Your sensory system also look connected with your brain, your proprioception, the balance and everything. So definitely when there is a impaired function of your brain tissue, when you get brain insult, then definitely all these systems will get affected. So no, the functional recovery, definitely before functional recovery, neurological recovery occurs. And neurological recovery, to have a very optimal neurological recovery, you must have heard about the FAST. Okay, time is very important in a stroke. When a stroke happens, as a caregiver, as a stroke survivor, you must spread this around, that time lost is brain lost. You must have heard about these on media or internet, on wherever you read all these information. So time is very important. The most crucial time is 3 hours, but up to some literature say the 4.5 hours is a very crucial time. That then the most of brain tissue can be reversed, and which were in a way of getting permanent damage. So that's what depends, that how neurological recovery is something which is, we are trying to save the neurons from getting permanent damage. One, that once a stroke happens, you come out of that, then your rehabilitation is start. Okay, so after stroke, you have lost some of function. Those function, how we are going to get it back, and you become independent, you become again functional, your quality of life becomes same as before stroke. So that is the functional recovery, and that's where the rehabilitation professionals comes. Okay, so the now neurologist, the neurological or pharmacological or surgical intervention has taken place to save your life, to save your neurons which have which were in way to damage. They have minimized the maximum possible damage na ho itna. But now you come out of the hospital and in home, or maybe in a rehabilitation facility. Now your functional recovery is the responsibility of a rehabilitation expert now, and this team will look at that. They are like teacher. They are like teacher. If you go in a school, if your teacher is not good, you are not going to, even you are a very brilliant student, you are not going to have a very good marks, or you may not be you develop in that way that a good mentor or a good teacher can teach you. Okay, so basically in rehabilitation, what a rehabilitation expert does is, they guide you in a way that your plastic changes, which are already, if you don't do anything, then also there will be some of changes. Like for example, without brain damage, you get a fracture. Okay, if you get a fracture with lower limb or in hand, what do? You start brushing your left hand. If your right hand is not functioning, you try to learn. Yes, it is not that efficient that you were doing before, but definitely somehow you learn, and कुछ दिन में हम और अच्छा भी करने लगते हैं उसको by practice, right? So this is how your brain recover. When you get a stroke, your half-sided body is totally unfunctional, non-functional for few weeks or a month or maybe or a day. Your brain start using, because your brain need to complete certain tasks in day-to-day life. So what happens? Your other side of body become more active, and your other side, other than stroke side, brain become more active. But it is not good for you, because you are going towards compensation, not towards recovery, right? So since beginning, the very early stage, we need to emphasize these three terminology, which are called as axonal sprouting, synaptic strengthening, and activation of weak pathway in your brain, which are already existing. Like for example, in this picture, if you see, these are the, suppose I could say it is something like pathway. we need to activate with activity. We need to activate those axonal sprouting. What is the axonal sprouting here is, see, you must be knowing that the two neurons, how the one impulses from one neurons to other neurons goes. There is a synapse, there is a connection. Okay, and these connections has a lot of something like a very fine wires everywhere, which are called axons. They get attached to the cell. So this is how the electrical current kind of impulses goes forward from one neurons to another neurons. So when there will be number of axons, then there will be connection will be more. There will be connection will be faster. The connection will be stronger and accurate, right? So with the activity, when you do activity, there will be a lot of firing at those neurons. Okay, like for example, if you lift some heavy weight, even if you put more weight, you will start vibrating kind of in your muscle activity. That is where the neurons try to recruit to generate more power in muscle, I'm talking. But the same, some similar kind of things happen in brain also. When you put in a more demand, there'll be less demand, there'll be less activity firing. If there is a more demand, then there'll be more firing. So with the activity, we try to stimulate that. And this is when there is a demand, then there is a need arise, and these axons get sprout and try to make connections, as you saw in that video. This is why I shown that video. So that is how the sprouting of axons occurs. Then there are the weak synapses, the connections. When there is a lot of activity at one door, then door is closed, but every time you with the activity you knock it, knock, then that is synapse will get more activated and strengthened. So again, there will be a channel open. Then there are certain pathways still, like in this picture you will looking at some of how you change your pathway when the road is blocked. So this, how this happened is, we try to go with the one road. We look at that is this road is very narrow. When there is a need, then we try to clean it up. Something kind of that activity we do. So हमारे लिए रास्ता बन जाए उधर. So these are the three terminology how functional recovery takes place. And as I said earlier, brain understand only the task, not the movement. आप इस पिक्चर को ध्यान से देखिए. एक आदमी को हमने कहा है कि आगे झुक के इस रेलिंग को टच कीजिए. और ये नॉर्मल मूवमेंट है कि अगर आप आगे झुकते हैं तो आपकी हिप पीछे जाती है. अगर मैंने आपकी बॉडी को, हिप को ब्लॉक कर दिया, तो आप उसको झुक के नहीं टच करते हैं, आप उसको आगे बढ़ के टच करते हैं. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल दिस बॉटल, if this bottle is here, right, और इसको मुझे पकड़ना है, तो मैं ऐसे हाथ ले जाकर इसको पकड़ लूंगा. लेकिन अगर मेरे शोल्डर में पेन हो या मेरा शोल्डर वहां तक रीच ना हो पाता हो, तो मैं क्या करूंगा? I will use my body nearer to it and take it. To take this bottle, I have two options, not two. There are many options. Brain can search and do such activity to perform the task. So brain understand only the task, not individual movement. तो उसी एक्टिविटी को, जिस एक्टिविटी को आप पहले राइट हैंड से, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर वर्किंग इन किचन, you used to take things from cupboards, ऊपर से बहुत सारी चीजें उठाना चाहते थे, या फिर बहुत कुछ चीजें चलाते थे, या ऑफिस में बैठते थे, या कोई चीज करते थे जो राइट हैंड से करते थे. नाउ राइट हैंड इज नो मोर functioning. So what will you do? You will start doing from left. या अगर राइट से आप फिंगर मूव हो रही है, कर सकते हैं, तो आप लेकिन एल्बो काम नहीं कर रही है ठीक से, एल्बो में एक्टिवेशन नहीं है, उन मसल्स में काम नहीं कर रही है, मतलब मैं कह रहा हूं कि मसल एक्टिव नहीं है, वो ब्रेन से एक्टिव नहीं है. दिस इज व्हाई इट इज नॉट फंक्शनिंग. वी नीड टू एक्टिवेट बिकॉज टू रीच समवेयर it is not my finger. Before finger there are a lot of other muscles also take part to initiate. Before my finger, before my wrist reaches to the object, there are a lot of scapular muscle activity, there are a lot of shoulder activity, there are a lot of elbow. इन सब में मसल में फायरिंग होती है. तो अमूमन हम सबसे पहले गलती ये करने लगते हैं कि सबसे पहले हाथ को ट्रेन करते हैं और सबको बस दबाते रहो. ये वाली चीज हमें नहीं करनी होती. वी नीड टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम मोर easier task for brain to more difficult task, not difficult task first, because जब हम बहुत ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट टास्क ब्रेन को इमीडिएट दे देते हैं, so what brain does, brain try to complete that task in any way. उसको ये मतलब नहीं है कि ये नॉर्मल मूवमेंट है, बॉडी आगे जा रही है, हाथ से पकड़ रहा हूं कि पैर से पकड़ रहा हूं, बट उसको वो काम करके दिखाना है. दैट्स इट. दैट इज व्हाट ब्रेन अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, सो इसलिए हमें कैपेसिटी को देखते देखते स्लोली हमें उसको ट्रेनिंग देना होगा. देन योर एक्टिवेशन विल टेक प्लेस. अगर हम 5 लोग हैं बैठे हुए और एक उसमें से कोई आलसी हो और हम जबरदस्ती पुश करें बिना उसको एक्टिवेट किए और ये 4 लोग काम करते रहे हमेशा, तो वो हमेशा से ही वैसे पड़ा रहेगा. बट हियर अपोजिट टू दैट आई रेकमेंड एंड आई try to activate that lazy guy, that the person who I want to take a part in such activity. यानी मैं नहीं चाहता कि मेरी अगर ट्राइसेप्स काम नहीं कर रही है तो मैं बॉडी को आगे ले जाके हाथ को आगे ले जाऊं. मुझे तो ये चाहिए, आई नीड टू एक्टिवेट माई ट्राइसेप्स सो दैट मेरा हार्म लेन देन हो जाए. आई नीड टू एक्टिवेट माई फोरआर्म एक्सटेंसर ताकि मेरी फिंगर खुल जाए. मैं असिस्ट नहीं करूंगा उसको. क्यों? ब्रेन की टेंडेंसी है कि वो अडॉप्ट कर ही लेगा. ओके, सो दैट इज ऑल स्मॉल थिंग्स वी नीड टू टेक केयर. अब इस पिक्चर को ध्यान से देखिए. हम जितने लोग हैं स्ट्रोक सर्वाइवर को छोड़ के, जितने हम नॉर्मल हैं, हम में से कितने लोग इस एक्टिविटी को कर पाएंगे?
No one.
No one, I think. Yes, you are right, man. क्योंकि इसने इतना ज्यादा इस चीज की प्रैक्टिस की है कि इसका रिएक्शन टाइम, अब जैसे हाथ को बढ़ाया इसने अपने बेस ऑफ सपोर्ट, उतना डिटेल में नहीं जाऊंगा मैं, बट डेफिनेटली शी हैज वर्कड अ लॉट कि इसने अपने बॉडी सिस्टम को ऐसा डेवलप किया है, ऐसा बैलेंस और इतना रिएक्शन टाइम ब्रेन में, इतनी फायरिंग इसकी चल रही है कि ईच टाइम नैनो सेकेंड्स में इसके मसल्स आगे पीछे के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो रहे हैं, सो दैट कि एक जगह स्टेडी है, आगे भी नहीं गिर रही, पीछे भी नहीं गिर रही, साइड भी नहीं गिर रही, इधर भी नहीं गिर रही. सो देयर मसल्स आर वर्किंग इन सो कोऑर्डिनेटेड मैनर which is controlled by central programming. But we are not having such control. That doesn't mean we are not normal, right? So she is performing, and we are normal. She is performing as something which is extra normal, we could say. Little extra normal than a normal, right? So same way, when a stroke happens, some of functions are lost. So you become subnormal. So before a stroke, you were normal. After a stroke, you become subnormal. Now my question here is, if somebody who is normal and with the activity training, with training of your brain, with your activity, with your developing your neurons and exciting your neurons, if you become extra normal, then why a subnormal person with activity and proper guidance, can't you be a normal or not fully normal, maybe in a very, very closer to normal? Yes, of course. And that's where the life, that's how you need to work out, and that is how your quality of life improve after an stroke. And this is why I say there is a life after stroke. It is not that when a stroke had happened, there's a, इस चीजों को दिमाग से निकाल देना चाहिए कि somebody has, and that the community, we need to educate community as well, that people say that stroke हो गया, अब क्या होना है, अब तो हो गया, अब तो खत्म है जिंदगी. ऐसा नहीं है. I will show you people. Deepak ji is here. If he is here, he will share his experiences. And there are a lot of people like him. They have returned to their job. They have returned to their work, and they are doing wonderful in their life. Next most important thing you need to understand कि एक्टिविटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है स्ट्रोक के बाद. चाहे वो आप इमीडिएटली, चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रिकल स्टिमुलेशन के फॉर्म में हो, चाहे एकदम से कांटेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है, चाहे वो न्यूरो डेवलपमेंटल थेरेपी और बहुत सारे ऐसे थेरेपीज हैं जिसके थ्रू हम एक्टिवेटेड करके रखते हैं मसल्स को. बेसिकली जब स्ट्रोक होता है उसकी इर्द गिर्द स्वेलिंग भी होती है. तो जो एक्चुअल डैमेज होता है, आपने देखा होगा कहीं चोट लगती है तो एक्चुअल जितने चोट होती है, जो वुंड होता है, उसके आसपास स्वेलिंग होती है और वो भी डैमेज होता है, लाली होती है. इफ यू प्रिक ए पिन, यू विल नोटिस दैट द पिन प्रिक के थोड़े से एरिया में देयर विल बी रेडनेस, देयर विल बी इन्फ्लेमेशन, देयर विल बी स्वेलिंग. द सेम थिंग हैपेंस व्हेन देयर इज इस्कीमिया और एनी डैमेज हैपेंस इन ब्रेन. दैट इज कॉल्ड पेनुम्ब्रा. वो एरिया जो है, दैट आल्सो गेट अफेक्टेड बाय दे neurons in those area also get affected. And हमें stroke होते ही, with all emergency and other things, we need to take care those also. Okay, so that's the part of the rehabilitation expert or physiotherapist or occupational therapist on those who are in care, in acute care. But जब आप बाहर आ जाते, जब आप उस थ्रेट से, उस लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग चीजों से बाहर आ जाते हैं एंड कम्युनिटी में आ जाते हैं, देन इट बिकम्स योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू कीप योर मसल एक्टिव. ओके, बिकॉज योर मसल आर्किटेक्ट, योर मसल फाइबर्स और ये जो होते हैं, ये भी तो वीक हो सकते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ नॉन यूज. इफ आई डोंट मूव, इवन इफ आई हैव अ वेरी नॉर्मल musculature, very normal muscles, and if I don't use those muscles, I'm going to have weakness in those muscles. I'm going to have less power in those muscles. So because of some neurological impairment, maybe it is any form of neurological impairment, chahe head injury ho, chahe stroke ho, if you don't use those muscles, then you are going to lose the actual architect of muscle, like their fiber length, their flexibility, बहुत सारी चीजें. And in spasticity, that's a major challenge post-stroke that really can be prevented since beginning if it is a very closely monitored. Yes, of course, treating spasticity is the big challenge, but not letting it develop with the activity and a proper care is more important, and that has to be addressed since beginning, like positioning, like functional electrical stimulation, keeping those I mean avoiding to develop certain negative firing and inhibiting pathway. Basically spasticity क्यों आ जाती है? जब आपका एक तो लोकल लेवल पे आपकी टोन मेंटेन होती है और एक सेंटर से होती है, those places. So it is something like, in a very layman terminology, I would explain, there is a step up and step down transformer, stabilizer. Okay, if there is a more फटाफट अभी काम करना है तो आपके लोकल लेवल पे हो जाता है एक्टिविटी. लाइक आई नीड टू हैव अ वेरी हाई टोन इन माय मसल इमीडिएटली. जैसे मैं ग्लास पकड़ा हूं यहाँ पे और ये गिरने लगा, तो इसके लिए मुझे ब्रेन को सोचने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. इस टोन को डेवलप करने के लिए स्पाइनल कॉर्ड लेवल पे ही आर्क में वो डेवलप हो जाएगा, और विद इन माय सेंसरी ऑर्गन्स विल टेल दैट इट इज फॉलिंग and immediately tone will increase. That is the reflex, in a reflexic manner, right? और जब सोच के कोई चीज करते हैं टोन, तो वो कॉर्टेक्स से टोन बढ़ता है कॉर्टिकल लेवल पे, राइट? जब इन दोनों के बीच में मिसमैच हो जाता है, जब कंट्रोल खत्म हो जाता है, so then there will be जो रिफ्लेक्सेस है, कंटिन्यूअस फायरिंग होने लगती है लोकल लेवल पे, दिस इज वेयर योर टोन गेट इंक्रीज्ड. We need to avoid this. We should not let your cortex, we should not let your brainstem, your higher center get inhibited because of less activity, because of less use. In technical term, it is called non-use phenomena. Non-use. So आपकी जो पैरेटिक साइड है, पैरालिसिस है जिधर, उधर की मसल्स की आर्किटेक्ट चेंज होनी शुरू हो जाती है. और नॉन पैरेटिक जो है उसको आप ज्यादा यूज करते हो तो आपकी ब्रेन की एक्टिविटी भी होने लगती है. बहुत सारे ऐसे ट्रांसक्यूटेनियस मैग्नेटिक स्टिमुलेटर और ये सारे आ गए हैं जिनको यूज करने लगे हैं हम टेक्नोलॉजी को. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाई यू हैव टू बी वेरी एक्टिव. एंड आई जस्ट सेड अर्लियर, न्यूरल सर्किट में जब आप स्किल्ड होते हो, बहुत मास्टरी आ जाती है आपको किसी काम करने में, जब आपको स्ट्रोक नहीं है, कैसे भी नहीं है, ठीक है, तो आप बहुत स्पेसिफिक जो सेट ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स हैं वो फायर होते हैं. यानी आपको पता होता है कि मैं यहां से उठूंगा, वहां जाऊंगा, ऐसे बैठूंगा, ऐसा काम करूंगा, आ जाऊंगा. बट जब ये मास्टरी आपकी न्यूरॉन की नहीं होती है, वेल ट्रेंड नहीं होते हो, तो वो मास प्रोडक्शन होती है, उसमें मास फायरिंग होती है. एंड दिस इज व्हाई अब मुझे इस बॉटल को उठाने के लिए पैर को टाइट करने की जरूरत तो नहीं है, ना मेरे कमर को टाइट करने की जरूरत है, लेकिन अभी मेरी इसमें मास्टरी नहीं आई है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, पूरी बॉडी टाइट करके आगे जाऊंगा. दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस इन स्ट्रोक यूजुअली. तो ऐसे कंडीशन में एक जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल हम ऐसा करते हैं कि इसीलिए कहते हैं कि पोस्चर का और सिटिंग का और इसका बहुत अरेंजमेंट करना होता है, क्योंकि हम दूसरे साइड की बॉडी को, दूसरी एक्टिविटी जो है, जिस एक्टिविटी को ट्रेनिंग दे रहे होते हैं, उसके अलावा जितनी एक्टिविटी, वी ट्राई टू stabilize that, we try to hold that it should not get overfired. Okay, so skill mastery करने में टाइम लगता है, and it takes time. और स्किल मास्टरी करने के लिए हमें क्या करना चाहिए, क्या क्या हमारे कंसर्न हैं जिसको हमें देखना चाहिए, ये 4 चीजें ध्यान से रखिए जब भी स्ट्रोक हो. सो इट इज नॉट जस्ट आपकी मोटर स्किल, इमोशनल, आपका सेंसरी, कम्युनिकेशन. जैसे कई बार हम थेरेपेटिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखें, अगर कई लोग होते हैं, देखते हैं, जैसे बार बार कहने के लिए, जैसे मोटर एप्रेक्सिया बोलते हैं जिसको, उसको आई नो दैट इफ समबडी इज सेइंग दैट आई नीड टू लिफ्ट दिस बॉटल इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी, बट आप लोगों ने देखा बहुत बार हम कहते हैं आप बॉटल उठाइए, लिफ्ट द बॉटल, somebody is saying but he is nodding, okay, yes, but he is not doing. And sometimes when he wants, he is doing. So he has a problem in executing movement. It is not that he is not able to, but execution is poor, so he is not able to perform. So therapist as well as caregiver should also understand that these kind of problem also happen in patients. Sometimes you see something called neglect. Some people has certain type of stroke where there is a hemi neglect happens. उस आदमी को आधा ही दिखता है, एक तरफ की अपनी बॉडी से वो डिसेंसिटाइज हो जाता है, उसको समझ में नहीं आता है, राइट. सो इन दैट वे, इन दैट केस, सेंसरी फीडबैक, बहुत सारे ऐसे थेरेपी है, सेंसरी एजुकेशन वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. केयर गिवर ऑफन ऐसे टाइम में बहुत इरिटेट हो जाते हैं, अरे ये तो मेरी सुनते नहीं. समटाइम्स यू नो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, यस यू केयर गिवर जो है, जो उनकी अभी अपनी एक चैलेंजेस हैं, बिकॉज दे आल्सो स्ट्रोक, इफ एक आदमी को घर में स्ट्रोक होता है तो इट होल फैमिली गेट डिस्टर्ब. इट इज नॉट अ पर्सन हु हैज सफर्ड स्ट्रोक, बट with the stroke the many other people also get affected and their life also get changed. Okay, so whenever and then you are caring in a stroke survivor, you need to understand the person has the not only difficulty in doing task, doing certain things, but definitely his emotional health, his sensory sensation, touching on all those things are also affected at some extent. Some people has a major damage, some people may have a less damage. So The it varies, the extent of damage varies, so the severity of impairment also varies, but there will be some of that. And it becomes really challenge when there is a communication is challenged, aphasia or dysarthria and dysphasia, all these things. Then it is even more difficult for family or caregiver or survivor himself or themselves, that taking care of them their own is very become difficult because they are not able to communicate. So all these things we need to look at when we are caring people. Okay, so अब केयर गिवर के लिए तो बात ठीक है, बट एज एन स्ट्रोक सर्वाइवर व्हाट वी नीड टू डू, आपकी अपनी सेल्फ एडवोकेसी. ठीक है, स्ट्रोक सपोर्ट अलायंस है, हमारे जैसे कुछ लोग भी हैं जो जुड़ते हैं और आपकी हेल्प के लिए आगे आ जाते हैं कि वी नीड टू एजुकेट, वी नीड टू क्रिएट सपोर्ट ग्रुप एंड आपको केयर करें. बट अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू गेट इन्वॉल्व with the people and you advocate, you become your own advocate, that yes, I need to something for me, then unless and until then here stroke survivor group play major role, and that is what they're doing. Set your goal. Yes, I'll become independent tomorrow, I'll be doing something. Look at your impairment, learn activity from the rehabilitation experts, the physiotherapist, occupational therapist in your area, wherever you are going. Learn certain activities which activate your brain. Keep activated your brain, your tissue, your neurons, so that you don't enter in non-use phenomena. In that non-use, your brain should not undergo non-use. आप नहीं यूज करेंगे तो कुछ नहीं बचेगा ब्रेन में. ट्राई टू बिकम प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, ऐसा नहीं सोच सकते कि इमीडिएटली अभी स्ट्रोक हुआ है, मैं गिरा हूं और जल्दी से कोई आए, मैं बेड पे लेटा रहा हूं और मेरी मूवमेंट कराए और मैं चल रहा हूं. सो इट इज नॉट द केस. इट टेक्स लॉन्ग टाइम फॉर रिकवरी, particularly in stroke or any neurological impairment. So छोटी छोटी अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स को आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए, note it down, discuss with your doctor, your caregivers, everyone who are involved in care, and try करिए कि उसको एक एक करके उन प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करते जाइए. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, आपको चलने में कोई चीज एक प्रॉब्लम समझ में आ रही है, ट्राई टू डिस्कस विद योर टीम एक्सपर्ट एंड सॉल्व इट. नेक्स्ट जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है वो है अनदर स्ट्रोक. हर एक इंसान को सेकंड स्ट्रोक होने के चांसेस होते हैं जिनका एक स्ट्रोक हुआ होता है. If they don't take care of their lifestyle habits like earlier, right? और lifestyle modifications के बारे में बहुत ज्यादा नहीं मैं बताऊंगा यहाँ पे, but definitely आपको एक टीम चाहिए होगी स्ट्रोक होने के बाद कि आपकी फिजिकल एक्टिविटी कैसे होनी चाहिए, हाउ टू कीप योर ब्रेन एक्टिवेटेड एंड असिस्टिंग इन योर नेचुरल रिकवरी and as well as exciting your cortex so that you start learning the lost function again. Vocational. अब क्या हो सकता है? Yes, definitely you may not reach at that 100% after a stroke. Yes, some people reach there, the maximum recovery, and they can do everything what they were doing before stroke. But it is not for everyone. It may not be case for everyone. They recover so well. Yes. So those people need some modification in their job, their office, their home as well. So that is also the part. Yes, definitely lifestyle management. You need to have a specific diet plan and all that thing. So in सारी चीजों पे हमें ध्यान देना चाहिए. Yeah, medication. There are certain medications your neurologist, your caregiver, your doctor will prescribe. to have the cause, जो मान लीजिए सपोज कीजिए हाइपरटेंशन की वजह से स्ट्रोक हुआ था, so you need to have regular medications to prevent further, ठीक है, कुछ हो सकती है कोलेस्ट्रॉल और बहुत सारी चीजें इस तरह दवाई हो सकती हैं, you may have to have, so the medications, lifestyle modifications and regular physical activity, all these things are key after stroke. And having not life, we are talking about life after stroke, but I emphasize again that how to get quality of life after stroke. Yes, everyone is survived. Out of that, your survivor, there is no life threat now. Still, आप survive कर रहे हैं, चल रहे हैं, फिर रहे हैं, किसी भी तरीके से कर रहे हैं. But how to improve quality in that? How to add quality in that? Yes, you are walking somehow. How you walk more efficiently? You are taking your activity of daily activity in somehow and with in assistance. How can you do independent? So these are the challenges, and on these things you as a survivor, other people as a caregiver, and the therapist and other doctors should work upon that so that these things can be taken care. Thanks Deepak ji. Deepak ji aa gaye hamare paas, and he will definitely share his thoughts. Okay, so yes, there is a light of life after stroke. There are a lot of technology nowadays. We do all this technology, and this technology has role in rehabilitation. Okay, but don't forget that these technologies are not for patient. I always say that it is not for patient. It is for something which is quantification and for the doctors and therapists to have an ease of rehabilitation. But all those, the results and other these technology, these are the assistive tool for us to achieve a better result. Okay, but definitely the activity and the methods traditionally and hands-on exercises and techniques are still proven that they have a role in rehabilitation and achieving your goal, right? There are few video here I will just show. Just look at this. Okay, so this is what I consider as recovery in hand post stroke. It is not that you have an spastic hand and you have a very difficult task. Okay, so this is how it has to be. Okay, another video here, and I think I have not included the Deepak's video. He himself live here. Okay, so I will not waste much time because our VIP of today has arrived, Mr. Deepak ji. Deepak ji,
हाँ जी,
कैसे हैं आप?
बढ़िया, फर्स्ट क्लास।
दुकान कैसी चल रही है? लॉकडाउन का इफेक्ट तो नहीं है?
नहीं, इफेक्ट नहीं है।
हैं? चल रहे हैं?
इफेक्ट नहीं है, चल रही है।
फर्क तो थोड़ा बहुत पड़ा ही होगा।
नहीं, कुछ नहीं पड़ा।
अच्छा, कुछ नहीं, ठीक है, ठीक है। सो दीपक जी हमारे साथ हैं। दीपक जी आप बताइए अपनी थोड़ी, जो आज हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि हाउ एन स्ट्रोक सर्वाइवर शुड थिंक, और आप इतने यंग थे हैं, आई मीन, और आपके साथ जब आपको स्ट्रोक हुआ था एक अलग सा ही चैलेंज था कि दुकान पे कैसे जाएंगे, कैसे अब सारा कुछ चलेगा, ऐसा कुछ महसूस हुआ हो, और फिर उस चीज से आप निकल के बाहर आए, और ये बताइए थोड़ा बहुत अपने बारे में आप।
मेन बात तो वही है कि लाइफ चेंज हो गई। लाइफ चेंज हो गई, और वही वाली बात है कि मैं स्ट्रोक पड़ने के बाद ये चाह रहा था, ये ये बता रहा हूँ कि कहने मतलब लाइफ खत्म हो गई, जैसे लाइफ खत्म
हाँ
हो गई।
हाँ
हाँ, मेरे बस आपकी हेल्प से, आप लोगों की हेल्प से।
नहीं, आप आपकी हेल्प है खुद की। यही मैं आज बता भी रहा था कि हमारे बीच में सबसे ज्यादा तो सर्वाइवर जो होता है उसका अपना जो हिम्मत है, जो हम लोगों ने देखा था, जो
विल पावर।
आप
हाँ,
वाइफ के साथ जो डेली आते थे, जो पेन लेते थे, जो चीज कहा जाता था, जिस तरीके से करते थे, उसका इंपॉर्टेंस है। हमने जो किया वो अपनी नॉलेज आपके साथ शेयर करते गए, ऐसे करिए वैसे करिए, है ना। तो आप अब आप बताइए, जैसे आप स्ट्रोक हुआ, जैसे आपने बताया कि मतलब ऐसे तो लगा कि जैसे लाइफ ही खत्म,
खत्म
है
हो
ना।
गई।
और अब आप कैसा बताएंगे इन लोगों को, जितने अगर जो लोग सुने आपको, तो उनको क्या बताएंगे कि स्ट्रोक हो अगर किसी को, तो तो
एक बात
कैसा
बोलूं,
उस टाइम पे सोचना चाहिए?
एक बात बोलूं, कुछ नहीं सोचना चाहिए, पॉजिटिव सोचो, सब सही हो जाएगा, सब सही हो जाता है। आपको,
हाँ
मेरे इस हाथ में था, ये देखो, मेरे इस हाथ में था। मेरे को ये नहीं पता चलता कि स्टॉक हो गया।
हम्म,
कहने मतलब थोड़ा सा वो फिजियोथेरेपी करके और एक्सरसाइज करके रिकवर हो जाता है।
हाँ, सही
मुझ
समय से हो चीजें
हाँ, हाँ।
और सही तरीके से हो। तो
हम्म,
आप अपना हाथ दिखाइए, कौन सा हाथ है?
ये
ये
था।
वाला है,
हाँ,
ये है। तो इसमें देखिए कहीं पे भी कोई फर्स्टेज के
कुछ भी नहीं
निशान
है,
नहीं। और इसका
कुछ
श्रेय
भी नहीं
पूरा
है।
मैं पूरा दीपक जी को दूंगा, क्योंकि इनका जो डिटर्मिनेशन था ना, इनका डिटर्मिनेशन यही था कि मुझे ठीक होना है। दैट इज एंड दैट इज व्हाट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग आई थिंक। और किसी को कोई अगर क्वेश्चन अगर कहीं राउंड में पूछना हो, दीपक जी से कुछ पूछना हो तो,
दीपक
या
जी,
मैं
आपको कितने साल पहले स्ट्रोक हुआ था?
मेरे को 2.5 साल पहले हुआ था।
2.5 साल पहले, अच्छा।
हाँ जी।
तो आपको आपको 2.5 साल लगे हाथ का फंक्शन लाने में, या उससे पहले
नहीं
ही
नहीं
आ
नहीं
गया?
नहीं मैम, मेरे को 2 महीने रिकवर करने में लगे बस।
अच्छा, 2 महीने सिर्फ लगे, ओके।
हाँ,
और अभी भी आप एक्सरसाइज करते हो कि एक्सरसाइज अपने बंद कर दिए?
एक्सरसाइज थोड़ी सी करता हूँ।
ठीक है। So Dr. Pandey, there are a few questions. So if I have your
जी,
permission, I can ask
यस
you
यस
those
यस प्लीज
questions.
मैम, यस।
Okay, some of the chats, if you have seen on the group, say that if your dominant side has stroke, then the recovery is faster because that is the side that you are used to. But if your weaker side or the non-dominant side has stroke, then the recovery is slower. Is that true?
No, not at all. It is not at all true, and there is a no evidence says there is a. I have not read any literature that says that the dominant sides will recover faster and non-dominant will recover faster. See, there are different function of both side of brain. Okay, and all these functions are what you say on neuronal pathway. I'll just given a very lay terminology in a for layman example. हमारी गाड़ी का कौन सा पहिया सबसे ज्यादा चलता है?
कोई नहीं, चारों एक एक जैसे चलते
चारों
हैं।
एक साथ चलते हैं। ज्यादा वियर एंड टियर किस पे होगा? अगले वाले दोनों पे, क्योंकि उस पे स्टीयरिंग होती है। तो क्या वही ज्यादा पंचर होता है?
नहीं।
नहीं
नहीं।
होता, नहीं होता है। सो सेम वे द ब्रेन हैज एन स्पेसिफिक फंक्शन। लेफ्ट और राइट साइड का ब्रेन हमने डिवाइड किया कि दोनों में कुछ कुछ चीजें हो। और इफ यू गो ऑन यूट्यूब यू विल फाइंड दैट इन अ गर्ल, शी हैड एन वेरी सीवियर एपिलेप्सी एंड शी हैड एन हेमीस्फेरेक्टोमी। उसका एक ही साइड का ब्रेन है, वो चलती फिरती है। So now the science has proven that even the left side function of your brain can be managed by right side. It is something like that. We heard about testosterone is the male hormone, but it doesn't mean it is not exist in females.
Yes.
Right? So the same way, left side brain is for something, right side brain is having some dedicated function, but some of these interchange happens. So it is nowhere evidence that the right side will recover clean and left side will recover fine.
Okay, the other more very often asked question is that spasticity of the leg is easily improved, but spasticity of the hand, especially fingers, is very challenging. Is that true?
Yes, that's not very scientifically proven so far, but yes, practically we do often face these in day-to-day clinical scenario. And what I can say why it happens is because hand has to function in air, in open space. Okay, and for brain, doing task like earlier also I explained, we need to start with this simple task and move on to heavier task. Okay, the more difficult task, I mean to say. So here, why the leg is recovering faster, because something called closed kinetic chain. Your foot is on ground, okay, and on top your body, and it is moving in connection. Whereas when you perform with the hand, there is an approximation is not taking place. So though it is called open chain action of muscles. So open chain actions are always difficult for brain to manage, because उसको किस डायरेक्शन में जाना है ये भी सोचना है, कहाँ कहीं गिर न जाए, उसका वेट है, उसका ग्रेविटी इफेक्ट है, बहुत सारी चीजें इसके ऊपर अप्लाई होती हैं. This is why we always try to do bilateral activity. Like for hand training, I used to treat like this, rather having hold something in air. So this will be more easier task for brain than holding something in air. This is why what happens when the task is more difficult, जैसे हमें कोई चीज भारी चीज को धक्का देना है, तो अगर वो हल्का होगा तब तो मैं अकेला धकेल दूंगा, लेकिन अगर ज्यादा भारी होगा तो क्या होगा, मैं और 4 लोगों को लाऊंगा धक्का लगाने के लिए. So same things happens in brain. When there is a difficult, very difficult task which is not, I'm not, my active muscles जितनी भी उसकी स्ट्रेंथ है वो भी सपोर्ट नहीं ले पा रही है, तो सराउंडिंग न्यूरॉन्स आल्सो गेट फायर्ड. तो मुझे हाथ काम तो करना था, हाथ से मेरी रिफ्लेक्स भी इनिशिएट हो गई, मेरी शोल्डर भी टाइट हो गई, मेरी ट्रंक भी टाइट हो गई, ताकि मैं उसको काम को कर पाऊं. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा कि ब्रेन अंडरस्टैंड ओनली टास्क. सो दिस इज व्हाई spasticity is not more in leg or in hand, but the way we perform activity, it reflect in a different manner. तो लेग में भी उतना ही होता है, हाथ में भी उतना ही होता है, बट चूंकि हमारा हैंड का फंक्शन ऐसा है जिससे हमें ये दिखता है कि यार मेरे हाथ बहुत टाइट हो गए. पैर भी होता है, पैर का भी टाइट है, बट वो रिजिड होके हम चल लेते हैं. तो ये प्रैक्टिकल है, बट नॉट साइंटिफिकली प्रूवन दैट दिस इज व्हाट द थिंग इज.
Okay, then
तो हैंड एक्टिविटी जब करें तो क्लोज में करें, और एंड देन स्लोली मूव ऑन टू एयर.
Okay, then there is one question which says that when person performs an activity like yawning or sneezing, there is an involuntary clenching of the fingers or the hand. Is there some splint that can prevent this from happening, or is there a necessity to prevent this from happening?
No, this is reflex. Even when we sneeze, and a normal people will also have increase in muscle tone. Okay, जब हम छींकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है स्ट्रोक का क्या होता है कि हाथ भी टाइट होने लगते हैं जब वो यॉर्निंग वगैरह करते हैं. तो हम जब करते हैं, नॉर्मल इंसान जिनको स्ट्रोक नहीं है तो भी ये मसल टोन बढ़ता है, बट एट द लेवल वेयर इट इज नॉट बीन ऑब्जर्व विजुअली, बट मसल टोन बढ़ता है. क्यों क्योंकि हमारी एक्सटेंसर्स और फ्लेक्सर ग्रुप, फ्लेक्सर एक्सटेंसर दोनों में एक साथ समान बढ़ता है. जब मैं छींक रहा हूं, व्यायाम कर रहा हूं, तो भी इसमें हो रहा है, मसल एक्टिविटी हो रही है इसमें भी, लेकिन इतना बैलेंस्ड है कि मुझे ऑब्जर्व नहीं होता है डिफॉर्म. बट स्ट्रोक के केसेस में क्या होता है कि स्ट्रोक में देयर इज अ फ्लेक्सर डोमिनेशन, क्योंकि फ्लेक्सर मसल हमेशा स्ट्रांग होती है, और एक्सटेंसर मसल जो होती है वो इनहिबिटरी होती है, उसके अगेंस्ट काम करती है. तो जब स्ट्रोक का पेशेंट होता है जिसको ऑलरेडी एक फ्लेक्सर में एक ग्रुप में टोन बढ़ा हुआ है, तो जब वो इस सिनेरियो में आता है तो उसकी फ्लेक्सर मसल टाइट हो जाती है, तो उसको ऐसे लगता है जैसे कि मेरा टोन बढ़ गया. ये नॉर्मल में भी होता है, but it is because of imbalance in tone management I would say, Because of imbalance in tone management, it looks like there is a movement happening. But in normal circumstances, also normal people also will have an increased tone when they sneeze, they cough. But it is balanced, so it is not visible, the movement.
So there is no need for a splint or something to prevent it from happening.
No, why splint? Splint I always discourage. Why? Because there should not be any nociception. There are a few advanced splint. I always advise splint which are covering your extensor group. Working, not pushing. If you're using this surface, if this first surface, there are sensory systems are also active. Like for example, if I'm holding this bottle, and why I'm able to maintain tone here in my muscles, because on this surface there are sensory organs which are giving sensation to my brain that this much pressure is sufficient. If this pressure is not sufficient and it start falling, I will increase my tone to hold it. It should not fall. So that is the function of my sensory organ. Okay. And this is continuous process. This is loop mechanism. I hold something, the sensation goes to my brain modify the amount of tone and hardness required in my muscle, and I keep holding the things here. When in a stroke patient, if I'm continuous sensory feedback I'm sending by wearing some splint here, my brain will always increase tone in this muscle. So this is how it will be further deformed. But if you use something sensory this side, it will enhance and inhibit tone in this side. So there are good splints. If there is a necessary to wear a splint, use the extensor mechanism splint, not the flexor.
Okay, right. Thank you. You said that it is possible to set up neural connections by repetitive exercise. Yes. So somebody is asking how much repetition is required and how long does it take for this connection to be established?
Yes, it depends. It depends, but thousands and thousands and thousands time. It is not written in literature that kitna time hona chahiye, but lot of things. I think I have seen, and many of therapists in the group, they must have observed that something, a patient comes to us, we treat them and their walking get improved. Next day they come, again their gait is abnormal. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what the example that repetition matters. There are neuroplasticity induced karne ke, activity dependent neuroplasticity induced karne ke, there are 10 principles. That will be too technical for this group webinar, but yeah, there are so many principles, and one in that is repetition matters. One of the principle, use it or lose it. So agar use nahi karenge to lose ho jayega wo. Use it and improve it. That is also one principle. If you keep using, you will improve. So there are 3 ways the plasticity happens. First 2 things I'll explain 2 ways. One is potentiation, something called potentiation, and something called inhibition. So this is how the spasticity also decrease. The normal movement pattern start getting generated, the potentiation of the neurons which are normally engaged in certain behavior, and those neurons which are engaged in abnormal movement, or you can say negative plasticity or something, and whatever you can name it, they start getting inhibition. Now here, when you start repetitions, as I said, the firing, we have to increase the firing. So if I increase firing, if patient comes to me and I increase some activity and improve firing, the function will drastically improve immediately. Okay. But if he's not keeping practice of that new activity, then it is not going to have a structural change. Okay. So I made a functional change, and to establish in a structural way, right?
need to repeat.
We need
Yes.
to have thousands and thousands and thousands and times practice every day to get mastery in that motor skill. What I said, mastery in that skill. साइकिल चलाना हमने एक दिन में नहीं सीखा था, राइटिंग हमने ABCD एक दिन में नहीं लिखा था, ए बनाते थे तो टंगड़ी टेढ़ी हो जाती थी,
right.
तो टीचर हमें बार बार हाथ पकड़ के सीधा लाइन करना सिखाते थे. Okay, that's the example that practice, how much practice is matters. So repetition, thousands time, I would say lump sum एक दिन में करना है एक एक्टिविटी. ये लो.
Thank you. So there's another question which says, how soon after stroke can we make the patient stand up and try to walk?
It again depends. It again depends on how much damage and extent it is, and कितना brain damage हुआ है. But usually what we say is it takes 10 days to 3 months. 10 days मैं इसलिए ये कह रहा हूँ क्योंकि unless and until the vitals and other things are stable, most of doctors doesn't allow them to have a more vigorous activity. Sometimes there are some severe stroke where the brain pressure is increased, so उस time पे भी बहुत ज़्यादा vigorous activity हम करते हैं. Okay, like hemorrhagic stroke में खास कर होता है. So इस तरह की चीजें होती है और डिपेंड करता है कितने टाइम पे. इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि न्यूरोलॉजिकल रिकवरी एज वेल एज फंक्शनल रिकवरी, द टू कंपोनेंट, इट गोज साइड बाय साइड. न्यूरोलॉजिकल रिकवरी आप जितनी जल्दी पहुंच गए, ब्रेन टिश्यू को हमने रिवाइव करने की कोशिश कर ली, हर मिनट में मिलियंस ऑफ न्यूरॉन्स गेट आउट, तो उनको जितना हमने रोक लिया डैमेज होने से उस पर भी डिपेंड करेगा. बट यूजुअली वी से दैट इट इज 3 months, एंड डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज दैट कि आफ्टर 3 months नहीं होगा. ठीक है. अच्छा, दूसरा एक और इंपॉर्टेंट चीज विद दिस प्लेटफॉर्म आई वुड से कि हमें ये कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि जल्दी से जल्दी खड़ा कर दिया जाए. ठीक है. कई बार लोग टांगों में कुछ कुछ बांध के इधर उधर किस तरीके से और उस तरीके से खड़ा कर दिए जाते हैं. बट इन दैट वे वी आर प्रमोटिंग what you say compensation, not the normal activity. We need to emphasize the activation of neural pathway, activation of nerve which are controlling muscles, not support. वो ऐसा ही है जैसे कि एक पेड़ है, तना टक लूज हो गया है, मैंने एक डंडा गाड़ा उसमें बांध दिया, उसको अर्जेंटली खड़ा हो गया. So it is not the case. We should start activating the muscles from the day, from the ICU itself. हम लोग उस चीज पे काम करना शुरू कर देते हैं. So it is not important that you are able to stand in how many days, but it is important that you are standing by your own, on your feet, by activation of your muscle, not by 5 people holding or not with some of support or something like that.
Thank you. Then there's one question which asks, does Botox therapy help reduce spasticity?
It does. It does reduce spasticity. Understand what is Botox. Botox is something which is partially damaged, not the right word damage, partially inhibit the activation in your muscle. Okay, like for example, पहले Botox से पहले फिनॉल और सबको लगा के करते थे हम नर्व को डैमेज. I mean बहुत ही सिंपल शब्दों में अगर बताऊं तो एक पाइप है, सपोज कीजिए, उसमें से पानी जा रहा है, फ्लो बहुत ज्यादा है, तो मैंने क्या किया, उस पानी का फ्लो कम कर दिया. ठीक है, पाइप को पतला कर दिया, तो प्रेशर इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, बट उसको कहीं से डाइवर्जन कर लिया, किसी भी तरीके से फ्लो को रोक दिया. सो व्हेन देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ एक्टिविटी एंड फायरिंग ऑफ नर्व, मैंने नर्व को थोड़ा सा कमजोर कर दिया, उन मोटर यूनिट्स को थोड़ा कमजोर कर दिया, तो उसमें टोन कम हो गया. ओके, बट दैट इज अगेन हैज अ सर्टेन टाइम ड्यूरेशन, जितने टाइम में वो काम वो आ सकता है. बोटॉक्स एंड रिहेबिलिटेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टुगेदर. सो जैसे ही बोटॉक्स लगे, कुछ फंक्शनल एक्टिविटी, समटाइम्स वी अवॉइड बोटॉक्स इन सम फंक्शनल मसल एक्टिविटी, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल लोअर लिम्ब में कई बार कुछ टाइटनेस होती है स्पास्टिसिटी की, और तो उस टाइम पे अगर ना लगाया जाए तो भी ठीक है, क्योंकि दैट स्पास्टिसिटी इज हेल्पिंग देम टू वॉक, दैट स्पास्टिसिटी इज helping one person to achieve some function. Yes. So in that case it is not educated and we should avoid that. But yes, when spasticity is affecting the function and the therapy itself, वो therapy treatment ही नहीं दे पा रहा है, then definitely it is indicated and we should go ahead with that. And immediately once the doctor clear, then immediately aggressive rehabilitation will help to achieve the function in that hand or leg, wherever the muscle is affected.
Okay, there are lots of questions where people are asking that in case of severe spasticity of the hand or the wrist, the fingers are closed. So what should we do to open the fingers? What can we do in terms of exercise or therapy?
No, Botox, in such case, Botox is indicated. And should meet a good neurologist and look that is there indication for Botox if there is a severe spasticity. And after that, and a good training, there are functional electrical stimulator nowadays and hand wearable electrical stimulator also available, which assist in function as well. So that kind of training will definitely induce the neural connections and neural activation. So the spasticity will reduce down further. But to initiate, then definitely we need to look at that in the webinar. We cannot answer all that because practically we have to see that. But as you said that the finger is closed, I'm assuming that very, very hard function. And usually the thumbs goes in, and this is how the hand of stroke is. Okay. So we need to look at that, whether we can open it with the therapy itself, or we need to have certain inhibition or in form of Botox or in a flexure group. So that after that we can start initiating a rehabilitation.
So there is one question on hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and is that recommended or has it been tried for good results?
Yes, it is recommended, and there are few articles also suggesting, and the research also suggesting that it has a beneficial role in, but definitely in earlier stage, acute stage में और अच्छा होता काम करता है, because basically what it is giving, it is promoting healing of bone. It is not activating your neural tissue. It is promoting your healing process. Okay, and energizing your. If you just alone go for hyperbaric oxygen therapy and you believe that you will gain function, it is not the case. With that healing process, you have to have activity-based plasticity in your brain to induce with the activity and activity and activity and activity. So it is indicated they can, if they have facility and affordability and other matters are okay and indicated and safe to have, yes, they can go ahead.
Thank you. So I have one last question. Is physiotherapy counseling possible on telemedicine?
Why not? Physiotherapy counseling is nowadays there are a lot of tools available. See, I always say my patient, I'm nothing. Okay, I'm your teacher. I have to teach you that how to spell A, B, C, D. Okay, and if you my medicine is exercise. If you go to a physician, you have a fever. Okay, his responsibility is to find out whether this fever is because of TB, because of cancer, because of some infection, or what. And he will write it down, that paracetamol or some antibiotic and some dawai and some medications. And he will prescribe that, take this in the morning, this in the afternoon, and this in the night. Okay. So if you go home and don't take the medication, will you be all right? No, obviously not. So if you come to me, my responsibility is you are not able to hold this. So I have to find out that why you are not able to hold this. Whether you have problem activation of muscle in your shoulder, whether your scapular muscles are not stabilized, whether your finger has a muscle is not activated, whether you have a lot of spasticity. And based on my assessment and reasoning, I would prescribe certain exercises that you do this every 2 hourly, 3 hourly, you keep activating this, you do. If you go home and don't do it, will you be able to get recovery? No. So this is why I always say to my patient that I'm not anything, I'm not कि आपको ठीक कर दूंगा, बहुत डॉक्टर बहुत दूर से आया हूँ, बहुत दूर, आप कहोगे तो यही मकान लेके रह जाएंगे और यही करा के आप जाएंगे, जितना दिन कहोगे करके जाएंगे, ऐसा नहीं है. You have to do things by your own, and that's what the best one. Okay, so yes, initially some day or maybe month or maybe in sometimes you need certain activation with the equipments and with some technology we need, because that assists a faster recovery. So at that time definitely we admit them, we advise them to come to as a OPD, as a therapy. But after that, ultimately survivor has to take care themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the take home message is that the patient has to take the decision to recover and work on it.
Yes. Self-advocacy, this is what I said in my presentation also. The self-advocacy, first thing the stroke survivor has to accept and understand that their self-advocacy, no, I want the life what I have lost. The same thing I want, and I will work for this. Yes, when you work towards this, there will be challenges. And those challenges we have to step by step overcome, and we will achieve in a different and a good quality of life. And that's what the example in front of us, Deepak ji. He has overcome all those difficulties. Now he's fine and is an inspiration to everyone.
Thank you, sir. And there are a few questions that are more medical than related to today's topic. So we will try and answer that either in the group or in the forum. Okay. There are a lot of people who would like to connect with you. So if they are not already part of the group, then we will seek your permission so that they can connect with you and seek your consultation to be able to move
Definitely,
forward.
ma'am. From Stroke Support Alliance or any way, anything, they can connect me. They can call the representative from the Stroke Alliance also, and they can connect anytime. I'll be happy to help them, whoever in need.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. With that, we come to an end of today's session. We are well over time, but that actually speaks about how good it was and how well it was accepted by the audience. Thank you once again, Dr. Pandey. Thank you, Deepak ji, for joining. It is very, very inspirational and motivational to see you. Nobody will believe that you had a stroke 2.5 years back. We hope you will join our group and motivate others as well. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak ji. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Everyone, take care and have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.